there, guys. It's Mia here. I am so excited. As always, I am excited about this topic today. I'm going to share very simply how smart women are leaving money on the table. Yep, how smart women are leaving money on the table, packaging what they know. I'm Mia Redrick, business consultant. I got started in my company 20 plus years ago, and I simply made the decision that I was going to package my background as a corporate trainer, my soft skills, and create something for myself. And maybe you've said the exact same thing, but you're trying to figure out where to get started. Well, you're in the right place. If this is your very first live, it's nice to virtually meet you. And if you've seen my lives before, then you already know this is going to be fire. I've got three simple things that I'm going to share with you today that I know is going to really support you in being able to understand how you might be leaving money on the table. Let me just make sure as the room fills that every single person has access to this live, because this is going to be a good one. All right. And do me a favor, if you've got a friend that wants to build something for herself and she's not really quite sure where to get started, this is where she needs to be. So take a minute right now and share this with a friend. If you're watching this as a replay, then I want you to equally tag a friend, share with a friend. Let me just share this here. And I want to make sure everybody can see this because it's going to be good. I wanted to do this live specifically because over the last 20 years, I've coached thousands of women, and all the women that I work with, they have skills that are highly packageable. They have degrees, they have education, they have expertise, 10, 20, 30 years plus of experience. They're the leaders. They're the ones making the decision. They're the ones that everyone goes to. And the question becomes often, when that is you and you want to do your own thing, how do I get started? How do I launch? Well, I have the great fortune of working with women in many cases who have already launched themselves. They've begun to package what it is that they want to do. And I'm going to break down tonight the three things that they all do that leaves money on the table. And these are smart, sharp women, and maybe you've done this also. And I hope as a result of you hearing this live, what I'm going to share, that it shakes your shoulders and it allows you to see inside of what you're doing, what is not working for you. All right. If you're ready, I want you to write, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm going to just jump right in. So tonight's live is how smart women leave money on the table, right? Packaging what they know. And the very first thing I can tell you is that most often when I have the privilege to meet someone for the very first time, a lot of times they come to me trying to have already figured out how to package their own intellect and their experience. So imagine that you're very, very close to what it is that you do. And you might have an idea of what skills you want to use, what soft skills, what hard skills you have, professional skills, what education you want to leverage in building premium products. But a lot of times these women come to me already packaged, or they believe they're packaged. So let me give you a couple of examples. They'll come to me and they've created a consulting or coaching business, and it's based on trading time for dollars. And so in essence, they're selling their time because they actually don't know how to package all that they bring to the table. And in many cases, they can't even see all that they bring to the table. And now, is that you? All right. So one of the ways that I see that women are leaving money on the table, smart, sharp women, packaging what they know, is that they are doing it themselves. They are packaging themselves by building a service, and that service is undervaluing how they can really truly serve that client. That service is not positioning them in the most gigantic ways that it could really support them in building the most amazing client base. Often when I have the opportunity to step back, objectively see all that that client brings to the table, what you bring to the table, I'm able to quickly diagnose for them what they are not offering the client that is the highest and tallest level of value that they can bring to the client. And more importantly, what the structure of what they're offering needs to contain, right? So that it fully delivers to the client a result, right? Because that's what people come to you for. I think one of the biggest issues with women that coach themselves is that they have a belief that they are selling time, that they have to prove themselves. Or I will also see the same women package or believe that they've packaged by writing some ebook, doing some mini courses, selling low ticket products, and not really having an understanding around how people who sell products that are lower in value, lower ticket, what the strategic strategy is behind it. Most often, when I see women who are smart and sharp, highly capable, PhDs, MDs, JDs, you name it, and they go to market sometimes to get validation. So they'll sell something low ticket, beta test something that um, that won't really truly attract the client that is the investor, your ideal audience. So they end up wasting a lot of time and money because of that approach. Is that making sense or is that making sense? All right. Today, what we're talking about is how women who are smart and sharp go to market and they devalue what they're doing. And they do it, one, because they're coaching themselves and they're selling something that they believe is a package, but it actually isn't. And it hurts them long term. When I tell you the number of women that tell me, I've already started doing this and nobody's buying this, and they believe that the way that they advised themselves was the right way, that they should change every single thing. They should change the product. And maybe you've done this too. They should change the service. They should change the offering. When in reality, they just didn't really understand how to build a quality offer for their ideal audience. And that is because they didn't really know what they were bringing to the marketplace. Okay. Number two, the second thing that I've seen over and over again is that these women also try to figure out for themselves how to offer a program to someone that isn't a full solution, and then they they get confused by because these people won't continue to work with you, right? So imagine that you are smart and you're sharp and you create amazing results, and then what you're offering to your ideal client isn't something that is a full solution. That means that someone could work with you, maybe through private consulting, maybe through group coaching, maybe, some combination of those things. And what you sold them was a smaller thing, right? Not the true solution. So one of the things that I've learned over the years, and I've coached thousands of women over the last 20 years, is the reason that my clients come back over and over and over and over again, on average about 3 times, is because they're coming to me for a result. They come to me for a solution. And I don't sell clients time, and I don't sell them something that isn't the result that can create a real solution for them. And you shouldn't either. But the problem is that if you don't know, number one, how to package what you do truly into a high value product, what ends up happening is you are not selling a full solution to the client. And when that happens, that means that even if you did get clients and they are working with you, it was a mini solution and the client has a bigger problem. And so they see you as the person that solves the mini problem, the small problem, but not really the bigger problems. And I say this because it's a blind spot that a lot of people have when they're advising themselves, they're coaching themselves, and it's how you leave money on the table. You have the client that's right there. They want to work with you, but what you're offering them or how you're talking about what it is that you do is the smaller solution. This makes sense. And I want you to write, this makes sense. Now, number three, the third thing I want you to keep in mind, and it's what I see all the time, if you are intending to package what you do, but it's not been as profitable as you like, and you find that you're leaving money on the table, or you want to avoid this, is the third piece is that you figuring out that in order for you to learn what to do, it's going to take some level of investment. So this is the part where um, people will technically, some people might drop off here, right? But it's really important. The reality is that there are people right now who want to work with you and who will pay you top dollar for what you do. But your ability to ask them or believe your worth is going to in part be based on your ability to invest in yourself. The reality is that a lot of women leave money on the table because they are not investment minded. They see their talent and their skill. They know that it's amazing. They understand that they've been paid for years by their company some salary, and that part they get, right? Like they understand their value from that perspective, but not from the perspective of selling their knowledge and creating transformation and knowing how to properly value it. Does that make sense? And because of that, I think that's where making investments in yourself around the thing that you don't know how to do. Let me break it down. If you're interested in being a coach or a consultant and you want to know how to, let's say, do Facebook ads, well, it makes sense to work with a coach or consultant that can show you how to do that, because you could spend the time doing it yourself, but likely it's going to take you longer and there's going to be this long learning curve. There's a learning curve anyway, and it's going to take you longer to get the results. When you make investments in what you really need, right, the first time, you aren't leaving money on the table. And I think this is a blind spot for so many smart, sharp women who come to me after having spent 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, right, doing the work, but doing it in the wrong way and being unwilling until they have really, until they're in a place of desperation, actually, to create that result that they want, right? Like now they have to create the result because they've been working in business for 2 years, but they now have been bruised, their ego's been bruised, and they're not getting the results because they've been doing these things for so long the wrong way and without support. Equally, I'd say, if I wanted to run a business and coach and consult clients, the first thing I would do is work with someone that has worked with clients, and a lot of them that has had successful outcomes for them, because I would want to know that model. And I think that it's a blind spot that many people like to glean things, but not invest in the real, the like the behind the scenes to learn what it is that you can do. I tell my clients all the time, listen, if you can do what I do, you can create the results, but you got to know what I know, and that knowledge only comes from stepping behind the curtain. Now, today, what I wanted to talk about specifically is how smart women leave money on the table, and when they're packaging what they know. And I broke this down in three different ways. And I just wanted to keep it really simple. The first way is not realizing that, like, you coaching yourself, thinking you know what you're doing is one of the reasons why you're leaving money on the table. It's trying to figure it out yourself, being too close to your genius and your brilliance, not knowing what best practices are, not learning or standing on someone's shoulders that can really support you. And number two, um, selling to your ideal prospects, or not even your ideal prospects, something that isn't representative of the full solution, because you don't even know what it is. I see so many people that are offering things, that are doing content and creating things that they believe is what the client wants, because they truly don't have an understanding around what the client actually what would want from them. And I think that's a really important distinction. And if you're doing that, this will really help you. The third piece is that I think when some people are equally, or need to figure out that you're leaving money on the table by not investing in the right solution for yourself the first time. And a lot of times we don't think about it. We don't want to talk about money, or any of those things. But the reality is that investing in yourself is, you're the first sale. And how do you walk a client through a process that you yourself haven't gone through? I thought this would be a really great live that would shake your shoulders in some way, pretty quick. And I hope that you've gotten value as a result of what I shared here. My only goal was to support you in understanding that you're leaving money on the table. And if you want to change that, and you want to have a conversation and figure out for yourself for the very first time what is packageable about what you do, at the highest and tallest level. I just posted a link here in the chat. Feel free to book a call with us, and we will diagnose where you are and what next steps could look like in terms of selling what you do for high ticket, standing in your value, positioning your expertise as a true expert, and charging what you're worth. All right. It was great sharing with you today, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great and amazing rest of your night. Bye.
I have been working with Mia Redrick for a couple of months now. I come to this experience with a lot of education. She was speaking my language from day one. What has changed for me is with all of the education, with all of the training and workshops and private coaching and things that I've had, what I didn't have was a real understanding on how I could package these things, price them, and promote them so that I could monetize what it is that I do and what it is that I wanted to do. And now with Mia, I have an understanding of how to take my tangible and intangible gifts, talents, and skills and put those things in a package that allows me to serve other people and benefit from it.
I was stuck. I never thought of my knowledge as something that I could create it as a proprietary system. What is the value of that? For me, it is priceless. And I'm so happy I made the investment because I can now see how my business can be transformed and how I can be transformed as a result of this work. So I cannot thank Mia enough.
Before I met Mia, I was selling my product for a very low price, and I did not just believe in what I was worth. So I had to change my mindset. I had to change the way I thought. I had to start believing in abundance and expecting it. And so these are the things that I had to learn as Mia mentored us. Now I'm happy to say I'm selling my product for what it's worth.
Before working with Mia, I couldn't sell a $297 product. After working with Mia for about 10 months, I was pitching a $10,000 product to a company.